Good morning, fam. This is Chris Reyes, aka Paradox Cycle, or also known as Cool Vids. Early morning here, just getting up. Didn't want to wake the family up, so I'm in the vehicle, my little battleship here, getting me to everywhere I need to get to. But I kind of wanted to make a morning video and just touch base with more of what I talked about AI. Computer generated not only images but animation, music, and how these tools are really just kind of gonna these are the avant-garde of how technology is just moving forward. And I kind of watch a lot of social media with influencers, media propagators, and just people just talking about the space. And they say content is king. And I totally believe that. I think content truly is king. And when you look at it, kind of like companies that kind of take over a space and how they can change a paradigm. Yeah, kind of make it a little warmer here, guys. How they can change a paradigm from being one way or another. It's just incredible. It's just incredible. I mean, you walk into a Walmart, what do they have? Shelves and shelves of product. You walk into a Costco, a Target, shelves and shelves of product, different things for people to see. And that's changed now because you go online and there's a lot more options. People want options. They want things they can consume. We're consumers, right? So when I came to the platform of Quid, it was amazing because that's what I see. It's like a giant, I don't like to use the word warehouse because warehouse is like, I think more of an older theme and things are changing. I see it as the mega mall of like a country. that's how big I see it as. And with technology moving forward, where you have mobile phones getting into people's hands at a quicker rate than we've ever seen before. We're talking about like in other countries like China, India, not only through the US, but all the countries. And this technology is going to get cheaper, more efficient, faster. We have the advent of 5G, how that information's going quicker, faster, and who knows what's going to be after that. So, when I look at a platform like Quid, and I see all these different brands, I see all these different IPs, and I just see content. The key is content, and it's made not only well, in my opinion. A lot of people are gonna shoot me down for this, and that's fine. Sometimes you gotta put your face out and be willing to take a few eggs to the face. And if you can't handle that, then what else can I say? But I'm willing to get my ugly mug out there and just say it. But with them being able to make content as I think it's cleanly, like I see it with this Day of the Dead drop that's coming out, and it's AR and it's 3D. And it's in a way where I can see that you'll be able to put it in different mediums, in different facets, and in different areas. And then I look at AI, and you can just put a word in there or a phrase, and it populates something. It blows my mind. And let me just tie this all in together, because everything's kind of up here, and communication is everything to kind of have people kind of follow what you're talking about. So when I look at how the AI is kind of putting things together, especially with animation. So with growing up and seeing video games and seeing how movies have kind of advanced and grown, I'm young enough but old enough, because I'm 44. I'm young enough and old enough to kind of be in the between, I think, to see the immense and unlimited possibilities of where this could go. You even saw animators in kind of like the animation industry. What was it, like Studio Ghibli, right? And how they were trying to use AI to make AI generated a movie, and people were like, I think it was Earwig and the Witch, and some people hated it, some people loved it, a lot of people, they were like, oh, I hated it. And anytime you're the first of your kind, I think when you first come out, people are gonna give you a lot of just black and white. It's not gonna be a lot of in between. And you have to almost be brave to be different, brave to go out there and say, you know what, why is no one kind of really pushing this? Because this is what really is going to be the start of a whole new era, a whole new generation of whatever the field is. So going back to kind of where I'm tying this stuff in together with Quid and AI, and it's not gonna only be Quid, guys. I mean, I'm saying Quid because I see that they have the most stuff. I mean, you look at places like OpenSea, Neon Mob, you know, and you have other spaces that have been around and are coming into their own. You look at Vivi, you look at the DC universe with the back house, and you look at all that stuff. So when you tie that all in together, and you see you take the best and you leave the rest. You see how their niches are coming together in their own space, and then you see the whole space, and you say to yourself, okay, you see that this technology here can be, you know, put a mask on your face of a very, very iconic iconic character. It's cool as heck, and that's with technology. And then you look at comics that are readable, AR, that's technology. You look at 3D models that can be put into AR, that's technology. And you know, there was one technology I saw that I personally didn't own, but I'd seen it and I didn't think much of it at the time, and that was with the Google Pixel. And the Google Pixel was a really cool invention where you could get stickers, and again, they called them stickers, guys. I mean, you don't have to take my word for it, look it up. And they had things like Marvel with Iron Man, and they had they had Stranger Things, and these stickers could interact with each other when you had a set. So they would work by themselves in tandem, and you can move them around, and they looked like 3D models, but yet they called them stickers. So I have a method to my madness when I'm going here and what I'm saying, because I've been looking at this long enough where it's like I see the potential where this can go, and I could be totally wrong. I could be dead wrong, and I'm okay with saying that right now. But I feel the more I've seen, the more direction that this has gone, that going back to the Google Pixels, these stickers were really coming into their own, and then the whole thing stopped. And sometimes things have to go through a cycle like that for them to kind of stop. The technology's too early. It takes time for it to get embraced. It takes time for legalities to be worked out. It takes time for, you know, because it's such a changing technology. It can almost change everything in that era of space before, you know, it levels out. So going fast forward, you know, and I hope you guys do your research on this. Look up Google Pixel, look up AR stickers. Again, look up Marvel, look at Stranger Things, and there's a whole bunch of other ones too. Other technologies at the time that came out, really trying to push the technology, and then just kind of fizzled out because it was just too early. When I see, again, going back to that, and look at AI, the fact that you have a digital collectible, right? And the fact that you can own these digital collectibles, very powerful. The second fact is that when you have AI technology that can maybe even take those digital collectibles, take them out of the medium that they're in, and put them into a different medium. Could be a game, could be a movie. And we've seen this with a lot of different, not only mobile games, but console games, where you can have a skin and it will put it into the movie that you're watching. I know I'm jumping around a lot here, guys, but just bear with me. The issue right now is there's certain things like licenses, and there's certain things like who's gonna get what and where things are gonna go. That's all gonna be hashed out. You know, if you're on the sidelines right now and you want to stay there, that's cool. Me, I'm willing to get into the arena and show my viewpoints, talk about what I see and what I think, because it's gonna change. When it changes, it's gonna change fast. And I think people who have sat on the sidelines, and hey, maybe you're secretly accumulating some of these digital collectibles, and that's fine. You know, some people are just quiet, they have a strategy and they don't want to talk about it. You have someone like me, and there's a lot of others, a lot of other people. They'll talk about it, and they do very well in their space, and then everyone kind of shoots them down, and it's balance, you know? I think I had sent a message to a content creator and just said, look, man, you know, this is your business. If we're worrying about what people, it's great to see what people think and hear their thoughts, but in the end, you kind of have to just go out there and speak your piece. And if you really have conviction and believe in what you're doing, then that will push you through, because there's always going to be static. There's always going to be people against you. Look at Walt Disney. Walt Disney used to go out there and he'd ask 10 people what he thought about this idea. And if 10 people said they didn't like the idea or no one was going to work out, he started working on it right away. That is genius, because he understood that when it's already adopted and when people agree with it, it's something that's already mainstream. If people are unsure about it, and they're against it, or they don't understand it, that's something you need to work on. And it worked. It worked for that brand. You see, it's one of the biggest brands, most recognized brands out there, right? So again, with AI technology, I've been using things like Dawn AI, looking at Ava, which does music composition. You look at Journey, you look at programs like Blender, you look at all these things tied in together, and how it's getting easier and easier and quicker to just make content and how it interacts. It's just a matter of time before that AI technology can be refined to cross-pollinate through different mediums, meaning that I could take, in my eyes, I own the product, right? A Mickey Mouse, and have it interact with an Iron Man. It's just a matter of time. Now, legally, you know, maybe they don't want, you know, those companies don't want that, because it's kind of just a weird interaction. How do they make money? How do they interact and everything like that? I think the solution is what I've seen with what a company like NFTs Brands is doing. They're trying to create royalties. And I think that's something that's always been an issue in almost any space I've seen, is that, you know, when you have a change of technology, let's say the audio cassette. Audio cassette allowed you to record music and keep it personally. And I used to have audio cassettes. It would be on the radio. I could record it, and you know, every time I played that, did that artist get any money? You know, I mean, I enjoyed it. I spread the word, and more people knew about it. But did that artist get any money? Did that company get any money? No, I could listen to it at the freedom of my leisure without them getting anything. Same thing with CDs. Same thing with DVDs. The power to store and record has only grown as time has gone on. I've seen that. Again, I'm young enough, but old enough to have seen all this change and transpire. And now I'm going to try to tie this together with what I'm seeing here. With things like the movie and the music industry, it takes a lot of effort and time to get artists to produce it, and people are going to say, "Oh, this is common sense, Chris," but really, how many people really understand the amount of effort and time that takes to get product from the conception stage through the organization stage to the refinement stage and then to the final product? It's an extremely tedious, hard, and time-consuming process. What this AI is doing is making it much more streamlined. And the companies that take advantage of this and work with it are the ones that are going to kind of move forward. You look at companies in the past that they had the technology in their hands. They maybe were the first ones to pioneer it, and they sat on it. And the great thing about, you know, capitalism is that you know, efforts, timing, and perseverance are highly rewarded. And the companies that kind of keep moving forward are the ones that are going to do very, very well. The ones that embrace the technology are doing very, very well. So every platform right now is growing this amazing space. I'll never get tired of saying it. I'm like a broken record. You can look at my tweets, You can look at my Discord. You can look at these videos. I'm not going to change it. Not for anyone, because that's what I really believe. I stand behind my convictions that we're all seeing the potential here and all growing this amazing space. So when I look at, again, I'm going to go back to a company like Quid. The reason I kind of keep on going back to that, and that's why I've kind of, made this my base of operations, because I've been on platforms and I buy from all of them. I own content from so many platforms, because you have to really have an idea. You have to not only have a passion for those genres and those technologies, but you have to be involved in it to really have a better understanding of where this is and where this could be. So going back to Quid again, they're pushing out content at a speed and quality that is incredible. Other platforms are doing the same thing. Don't get me wrong. They're just doing it a little bit faster. Their team is doing things quietly at a very fast pace. I've been in corporations, I've been in board meetings. I'm very impressed. And I hear nothing, which is a good thing. You don't need a guy who's trying to be an influencer and going out there and talking about space, kind of hearing things and it's not good. But so they're not afraid to embrace AI technology. When it first came out, people looked at it and said, "What the hell is this? Stuff. Why are they doing this? It's not original artwork." The whole idea is it's a concept. It's not supposed to be original artwork. It's conceptual. It's proof of product, proof of concept. Basically saying out to the community, look at this. Look what can be made with this. And then what can you make with it? Because really, when you look at when products are brought to the market, the best testers of that are the consumer, are the people who have that and use that, and then they kind of make something bigger out of it. What's going to happen is you have a giant mega warehouse of digital collectibles. It's been around for a very, very long time. As this space continues to grow, as mass adoption continues to grow, it is going to be, in my eyes, one of the biggest platforms out there. Is it going to be the best? I don't know. I'm just saying biggest that I see, just because of the large amount of IPs it has, the large amount of different forms of content, stickers, cards, figures, from so many different genres, from so many different, it's so massive I can't even wrap my head around it. It's almost like they're in a freaking, like walking to a Walmart, because you go to a Target and you see all these things and it's got like pieces from everywhere. So when AI takes these things and puts them into a 3D wrap around a 3D wire figure, a little bit more about my background, guys, where I can tie more of this together. So when I was growing up, when I was in high school, and I saw the first parts of the internet come together with computers and whatnot, you saw the first stages of how things were really interacting, all of them connecting together. And I was getting into not only programming, but into artwork and seeing how all that tied together. And it was cool as hell, man. And still, I would go to the library, read books and everything. I mean, I could read books online. You could download whole books. You could put a couple of books onto a floppy disk. A small little medium. Again, this is before CDs, DVDs, and Blu-rays. And I saw how all that tied together. I saw how information can point from one place to another. And it was kind of like the foundation, my understanding of seeing this. So the first time I had seen this with crypto, and how metadata can point from one place to another. And then going into the NFT space and seeing how, these 3D models can move and how they can interact a lot easier and quicker. than what I'd seen ever in the past. And then you see how AI technology can take a phrase and words and make a whole animation, make a whole image on that. Most of it looks kind of junky, but if you populate, like, and I've done this already, if you populate 100 images, and it's not gonna take forever, it's pretty quick, you can pick the best ones and then adjust them. Some of them you don't have to. I've proven that with some of the videos I've made already. It's quick, it's fast, and it's seamless. I'm taking this now to the next step. You tell an AI, hey, take this 3D figure I have. I own it, right? I bought it. And put this into my animation. Put this as modules. Now, it's stored them now. I mean, it can store them in hundreds of thousands. It's just a matter of time finding out how to do this. And then me as a user, as a consumer, using that to make content. The only problem I find with that, and I think to make this whole thing work, is that, excuse me, is if I'm making content and I get any kind of monetary gain from it, and this is why I'm so really big on Animal Brands, because just me personally, this is the only company I see really kind of pushing the idea of royalties out in a main giant space. Is for it to work, major companies need to see the gain in it. They need to see, hey, not only does this keep my product safe and to be used in a safe manner, meaning that, you know, it's not going to really tarnish their brand, but now there is an income stream that can go back to the parent company, go back to the artist, go back to even, say, community. That's powerful. I'm gonna take this off. It's powerful. And, you know, I'm sure I'm not the first person that sees this, by far. But I'm definitely want to be one of the first people that really talk about it nonstop. Because more people need to hear about it. More people need to know about it. And I think more people just need to take advantage of this. When you go quid, the amount of value in the idea of the price point being 15 cents, 50 cents, $1. Guys, when you look at stores, which ones are the ones that most people go to? They go to the dollar store. It's not a dollar anymore, but they go to the dollar store. Why did they used to go to the malls? I mean, they still do. A large array of choices. Why do they go to a Walmart or a Costco? Because it's a warehouse. It's going to have a lot of bulk of what you're looking for and want. Now, those things are kind of their own islands too, and people will pick and choose because they want different experiences. But now that when you have something like this where you're going to be able to own all these things, and then the idea that you might even have software that can utilize that and render it into a different medium is phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. Companies like Disney see this, and seeing how they've had it where you could take your phone and use AR to make a whole scene and image come into your room. That's powerful. That shows that it's already being developed. So let me put this forward to you again. Do your own research, look at it, and then say to yourself, okay, you know what? I'm gonna take the best and leave the rest. Still collecting the platforms that you're on. All of them are growing this amazing space. But also keep in mind that these items that you collect, digital collectibles from anywhere, how powerful it's going to be when they're going to be able to interact throughout the whole space. That's why people are excited about the metaverse. But it's not just going to be one metaverse. You know, you look at Marvel with the multiverse and stuff like that. And this concept's it's been around for a while. It's not just there. And how they can all be interconnected. That's just like the internet. But now it's getting even bigger. We're going to Web 3. And then I kind of mentioned out there Web 4 and where that's going to go from. So just keep that in mind. As time goes on, I'll refine what I've done in this video. I've thrown a lot out there, but it needed to go out there. I've kind of said stuff in my other videos. like we're in 2016 with Pokemon Go and how that kind of revolutionized and changed things. It's going to keep on growing. It's going to keep on moving forward. Be part of that in any way that you would like to be. And all of us just need to lift ourselves up during this kind of turbulent time, because it's going to be really exciting. It's going to be very scary too. You look at movies like the Matrix and the Terminator, and they're like, man, they're going to take over, they're going to ruin everything. And I don't see it that way. I see it as an information technology revolution. Instead of it being industrial, where it was hardware, it's going to be a software revolution. We saw this with I was young enough and old enough to see this, where you saw like Windows take over an industry, where you saw Apple come from where it's going with the Apple IIe and the Macintoshes. Fast forward, taking the music industry by storm. A lot of other companies were there. They were changing the space, but they made a big change with everything. Being first is hard. You look at all these great platforms and how they're changing things. And again, I say great. I think they're all freaking awesome. I don't see any. For me, I don't look for the flaws. I look at what they're doing and what they're not afraid to put out there and try. And I have a lot of respect for brands and companies that do that, because it takes a lot to do that. Quid has the best bargains in the market by far. But I wouldn't just take my word for it. Check it out. Do your own research. Wax. I've had a chance to look at wax. I don't personally own or collect anything on wax. I collect heavily on Quid, and I collect it on the other platforms I've mentioned before, like Topps, Panini, on Neon Mob, and OpenSea. Wax has great value too. I've talked to the guys in Discord. I've gone to the spaces, like the Twitter spaces, and Wax has a great deal of value too. Do your research, and there's probably a lot more out there as well. OpenSea has a lot of value right now too. Things for pennies. Just hold on to it, and the interaction with the tools will make it have extreme utility. I think the real strength is going to come not from the companies that are going to create the utility. It's going to come from the tools and what us as consumers can do with those digital collectibles, with that software, with that code, with that metadata. And that's where, when I see like a movie like Ready Player One, it's something that's been in my mind before, but I'd never seen it in a movie where it tied so much things together. Seeing all those different characters, all those different themes, all those different genres was absolutely phenomenal. And that to me is the beginning of that era. Our kids are going to inherit something that's going to be so profound and so different that it's going to be a different world. It's going to be like the horse and buggy. It's going to change everything. And I invite everybody to really try to be part of that and add to it and be part of the conversation. Because, there are people in the world, there are ones that kind of talk about what happened, the ones that make things happen, and the ones that wonder what happened. And, whatever you fall into, that's okay too. I think we're all early, and it's a very exciting time. And very scary time too. So you see from both spectrums. Just take advantage of it in any way you can. I personally love the bargain. Content is king. And the more that you have, I think the better. I think it's organized. I think it's put through. It's well. And, maybe things can always change. I could be dead wrong. And another platform comes out that doesn't even exist yet. They'll even blow everyone away because they're not afraid to take chances. They're not afraid to step out there and try new things. But from where I'm standing, what I see, All of them are working hard. Big names are coming to space. But this platform, Quid, has been around since very early on. It's survived. It's part of one of the biggest Web3 gaming. They started doing music not that long ago with K-pop. Do your research, guys. I've gone to these Discords. I've seen the conversations. You know, it tickles me every time I see it. They're bringing artists together, communities together, and again at a bargain. What's better, having 1 million items move at $1, or having 10,000 items move at $100? I would say you need both, but for mass adoption exposure, you need the price point. You need to be able to take that technology and be able to bring it to the masses. And anytime you look at an industry in any form or shape where an innovator, a visionary, has taken a technology as a tool and brought it to the masses at a very good value, that's where it all starts. And afterwards, everyone tries to catch up. I'll leave it with that, guys. But this is Paradox Cycle, Covids. I'm gonna see what I can do more with the video, maybe break it up, make segments of it so it can be more bite-sized. Everyone's busy. I'm extremely busy like everyone. I got, a family. I'm always working, trying to get through this turbulent time that we're in right now. Everything's expensive. So, peace, love, and jelly beans, guys. Until next time, ciao.